Welcome back everyone, and this is my first video where I'm actually doing a sequel to one of my previous videos. Not just any video, but my most successful video, which is my CRV Curve video. So I've had a lot of requests from people who are asking me to do an update video. How does it track? How is it looking? I'm going to do exactly what I did with that video. So we're going to compare it to Bitcoin. We're going to compare it to Ethereum. I'm going to give you some price predictions and give you my honest thoughts on where Curve is today. First, let's just go with quickly the market update to see how the market is tracking overall, and then we'll cover Curve. So let's just cover Bitcoin quickly. Now, I did say that I expected resistance to come through with Bitcoin at the 0.236 mark, almost perfectly, not exactly 100%, but pretty much you can see very close to my 236 mark at $45,716. I've been saying I expected it to be resistance and we'll probably get a pullback. We are getting the pullback. I don't think we'll get as serious of a pullback. Obviously, what's happening in Ukraine and Russia at the moment, no one knows what's going to happen to the market. Anything bad or anything like that is going to have an effect on the market. We can't predict the news. We can't. All I can do is look at a chart and say, okay, we had a high volume sell-off day. Look how much volume, and we're getting a pullback. That tells me we probably will not get as big of a pullback as you might think. I can see us going down to maybe 41,500. Lowest is probably my trend line at around 40,500. If we break it, Bitcoin's looking weak, but you can see very heavy sell-off day on the 2nd of March, but the bar is still pretty small. So it tells me that a lot of people took profits, but people are buying it up. But that usually breaks the momentum for the next day because all the buying happened. And that's why we're already getting a bit of a down day, because all the buyers have already bought on the 2nd of March. So they need even more new buyers to replenish it. Generally doesn't happen when you have that much volume and that short of a bar, if that makes sense. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Once again, support 236 mark, $2,867. These extension tools have been there for ages and you can just see how well they work. Bounced off it perfectly, already up. Ethereum will follow a similar pattern to Bitcoin. So lowest I see it going is probably around this trend line, depending on the day. So that would be around 27.5K. Lowest would be 0.382 mark, which is coming in at $2,618. But of course, like I said, news, anything can happen. So just always keep that in mind. Anyone who's reading a chart, anyone who's doing fundamental analysis, we are living in very uncertain times at the moment and we have to take it day by day. But things are looking good and there seems to be a lot of support at the moment. Total market cap 1, which includes all cryptocurrencies, again, support coming in at the 618 mark at around 1.83 trillion, resistance at the 50% mark, 1.955 trillion. We need to get above this for the bull market to really get going. You know how much I love my 50%, and we are struggling to get through there at the moment. Total market cap 2, which includes all cryptos except for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Once again, very similar to yesterday, support coming in at the 786 mark at around 1 trillion. That includes all cryptos except for Bitcoin. Then we have a look at total market cap 3, which includes all cryptocurrencies except for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And this is really the chart that tells you if the bull market is on or not. Support once again at the 786 mark. Let's go to Bitcoin dominance, and we can see Bitcoin dominance perfectly rejected at the 50% mark. I did say I expect Bitcoin dominance to get there and face rejection. We have gotten our rejection, so I do anticipate Bitcoin hovering somewhere between our 50% mark and our 50% retracement mark. So we'll probably be hovering somewhere around that for a little while before we get a dip and the alts are back on. Hard to give you timeframes, but we'll probably be there for at least a few weeks, probably a few months if you really had to ask me. Now let's get to Curve, or ticker code CRV. So this is the chart that I'm playing around with. Now again, I have to be honest about my takes here. I really take a lot of pride in my honesty. I'm not going to be one of these pump and dump crypto YouTubers. When I was doing my video on Curve, it was looking very good. We were hovering above our 50% mark, which is 3.92. At the moment, we had heavy sell-offs, and you can see just how big these bars are with the sell-offs. You can see early, sort of late January, it sort of just kept selling off 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, basically until the 22nd before we got the low, and then we dipped again on the low when we had that whole big announcement with Ukraine and Russia on the 23rd of February. So it's broken down a fair bit. The good news is that it looks like this might be the low in at $1.85. Now, I've drawn my wedge. I expect us to be somewhere in this wedge, probably going to break out soon. If I had to call it, I think Curve is going to have a bit of a breakout. Now, I still think it's not going to be a huge breakout, but I can see us probably getting around that 786 mark for $3.28. But we are facing a bit of rejection at the moment. Now, it's not the worst looking chart, but again, I have to be honest, it is looking a little bit weak at the moment. We aren't testing the lows that we put in July and June. If you've watched a lot of my videos, you know how I've been saying cryptos like Cardano, EOS, Litecoin, Chainlink, these are finding support on the 22nd of June, or some of them have even dipped below it. And these were really dark times in, mid-May-ish, late June, late July, and for cryptos to even dip below that support is a big no-no in my books. But Curve hasn't done that. Curve's been able to find support around those September lows, which if you remember, that was that whole Evergrande sort of thing. And they have been able to find support on it. Curve has, and now we're going on our way up. Price predictions for Curve. Well, okay, we've got higher highs coming in. So we've got higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high. Try to say that 20 times. We've got increased volume, and this is really what makes me think Curve is going to have a breakout. We've got already 3 days consistently of volume going up just ever so slightly. Resistance at the trend, we break the trend, we break the 1 mark, I think we're on. Do I still think Curve is a great crypto? I wouldn't call it fantastic like I would say with Luna and AVAX, but it's not as weak, and it looks like this might be a bit of a good short-term trade, but we have to play it out and see how we go. We've got increased volume, we've got up bars coming on 3 consecutive days, we've got a bit of a pullback on the rejection. Depending on how Curve reacts to this rejection is going to tell me if Curve is strong or not. So give us another day or two, maybe 3 at most, and we'll have our confirmation. So if you have your portfolio on your phone, the one mark comes in at $2.69. So keep an eye. If we can find support on that, then I think we'll get at least to 786 mark. That's my price prediction, $3.28. And then we have the 618 mark at $3.07, and then 50% at $4.05, and then 3.2 at 4.1. Once we start going to the last resistance, which would be the 0 mark at $5.04 or 48 cents, that would basically make it to the all-time high. And I would definitely be clearing almost all of my profits when an all-time high happens, depending on how the market is, because a lot of cryptos struggle to get to new all-time highs because there's so much selling orders happening there, and that would come in at an even $6. So depending on how it goes, this is why I say you have to take it day by day. Now, let's compare Curve to Ethereum. Okay, so here I am comparing Curve to Ethereum. CoinCodex, I compare all these coins to Ethereum, as you know. So let's have a look at how Curve is comparing it to Ethereum. So Curve is ranked number 80 according to CoinCodex. 1 year mark down compared to Ethereum by 38% almost. Year to date compared to Ethereum by 36%. And then we have 6 months outperformed Ethereum by 40%, 3 months down compared to Ethereum by 19%, 1 month down compared to Ethereum by 27%, 7 days outperforming Ethereum by 5%, 24 hours, 0.15%, not much. So looking a little bit weak in the higher time frames, and this is why I say Ethereum is a very good long-term hold, because it can outperform most cryptos. But Curve has managed to perform okay against Ethereum in the 6 month mark. So this is what I mean by it's looking a bit weak at the moment, but Ethereum has really looked strong during these uncertain times, and I don't blame Curve for losing, but I do have to call it like I see it. It's looking weak. So we have to see how the next days play out. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. So here we go. We have CRV versus Bitcoin on my chart. There's no Ethereum chart that I was able to find. So looking very similar to its USD chart, where basically we're down below our major 50%. And here we go. We are finding support at the 50% extension tool. I am happy to see Curve at least finding support on the 50% extension tool. It's really important that Curve doesn't break this. If it does, it's going to look really weak, and I would start taking all bets off of it. So keep an eye on that one for Bitcoin. That's going to do it for this video. I hope it helped. I hope it was informative. I hope you enjoyed the sequel. They always say the sequel is better than the original, so let me know if you like that or not. That's going to do it for this video. I'm going to link my 2 other videos on the screen right now, so check those out. But until then, everyone, stay safe out there, and I will see you on the next video.